before I get to the issue of the day, or maybe this is. So, according to press reports, Trump said this on the alleged drug boats. He said, "I want those boats taken out, and if we have to, we will attack on land also." Let me be clear. If Trump were to order an attack on land, that would be an act of war, and Congress would invoke the War Powers Act. It's Congress's prerogative to go to war, and I hope Republicans will defend that role. Okay. Is this yours or mine? Okay. We could switch? No. Okay. So I want to thank Senators Klobuchar and Wyden for joining me today. So in just weeks, the ACA tax credits will expire because Republicans refuse to extend them. 20 million Americans are going to see their health care costs skyrocket by thousands a year. And tens of millions of Americans are going to see their costs go up, whether they have ACA or not, and even Medicare costs are going up. And why are all these prices going up for the American people, these insurance premiums? Because Republicans refuse to do their job. That's on top of the devastating cuts they passed in their so-called big, beautiful bill, kicking 15 million people off coverage. So 30 million Americans are bracing for the Republican health care crisis. It's actually more than that. While families wonder how the hell they'll afford coverage next year, Republicans have no answers, no solutions, are making no effort to fend off the crisis. They're in disarray. They're fighting with each other. They say different things all the time. They don't have any idea how the American people are suffering, and they have no inclination to fix it. Republicans are sleepwalking America straight into a health care crisis, and don't take it from me. Republicans themselves admit they're clueless. A senior House Republican didn't say that they're behind or that they're working on it. He simply said, "We are nowhere on health care." Imagine being nowhere. Imagine doing nothing as Americans prepare to get crushed. The premiums are going up. People are going to, starting in January, people are not going to have health care who need it. And many others will have to switch plans. They may have to go to a doctor miles away who has no experience with their family, particularly if they or their kids had a particular medical history. This isn't gridlock. It's Republican malpractice. Trump and Republicans have turned their health care crisis into a circus. In just one day, Trump announces he has a new plan, and then Republicans kill it because they can't agree on anything. They can't agree whether to dismantle the ACA, privatize the whole system, just keep attacking women's health because it plays well on right-wing TV. While they fight each other, Americans get left behind. We Democrats are united in one clear mission: stop premiums from skyrocketing, lower people's costs. Republicans are engulfed in a five-alarm dumpster fire. They can't agree on a plan, let alone unify on a health care vote. The path forward is very simple, but Republicans cannot accept the easiest option of all and immediately bring relief to families now. We have said this for months. Democrats have said it for months. Extend the ACA tax credits, protect coverage, lower costs. We are on the brink of one of the greatest health care crises that we have ever felt in this country. We're on the brink of costs going through the roof, not just on health care, but on groceries and on electricity and on housing. Democrats want to lower these costs, and on health care we want to lower premiums. Republicans just want to argue with each other. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Democrats are fighting to lower costs. Republicans are fighting one another. Senator Wyden. All these many little papers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leader. And let's start this way. This is the 11th hour in the United States Senate on health care. And more Republicans are joining Donald Trump in what he has called the concepts period. They simply have no idea on how to address the health care crisis that faces the country. Now, we believe there's still time for Republicans to wake up to reality and to move forward together with us on a clean extension of the tax credits to prevent a maximum spike from hitting millions of Americans like a wrecking ball. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is telling Americans, don't believe your lying eyes as they contend with an affordability crisis for groceries, holiday gifts, and health care. The fact is, and we have been looking into this carefully on the Finance Committee, Trump's health concepts amount to nothing more than higher deductibles for working Americans and a lavish gift to the big insurance companies. In my view, that is a prescription for trouble. For months, I and others have been saying we're only going to accept legislation that lowers health costs and prevents Americans from losing their insurance. I have yet to see a Republican proposal that comes close to that standard. Every senator, Republican and Democrat, has to be prepared to explain how their plan's going to benefit families that spent all this Thanksgiving break agonizing about how in the world they're going to pay these stratospheric health care bills. So here's the bottom line. It's time to take action next week and avert a crisis that's barreling towards American families. After we do that, and make no mistake about it, Senator Klobuchar and I have talked about this, after we protect Americans from these punishing bills, we can talk again about the future. And we've made it clear. I mean, we ought to be working together on other matters to deal with rampant profiteering, guaranteeing affordable coverage for all Americans, and go after these crushing administrative costs in health care. We're coming close to spending $1 trillion in America on administrative costs. We can tackle all these issues after we get relief to folks who have just been hit by these premiums. That's what we're focused on. We're going to stay at it until it gets done. And my friend, Senator Klobuchar.
All right. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Chuck. When you, with your astute questions, ask our Republican colleagues about what they're going to do about this health care crisis, what do they say? We're having discussions. We're having robust discussions. The time for discussions is over. The time for action is here. They know the numbers. They know what's happening. This is a Donald Trump-created crisis. The premiums are doubling, the premiums are tripling, and the due date is next week. The due date is the middle of December. That's when these rates get locked in. And having just visited the final counties of all 87 counties in my state, I could not believe the people, when the press wasn't there, who brought up to me, what am I going to do? I can't afford the premiums. I'm a farmer. I barely have enough. The tariffs are hitting me anyway, and I'm going to have to buy these junk plans. I don't know if it's even going to work. That's what's happening. Trump and congressional Republicans are showing once again that they have no plan. They floated a plan last week, and I kind of thought they're in the middle of a blizzard in Minnesota. Well, maybe they really mean this. Maybe they're really going to negotiate with us. Maybe they're going to actually do something. But no, quickly withdrawn because of their own internal fight. Americans want them to lower costs. They run the White House. They run both houses of Congress. And when you look at these exact plans, 75% of the people on these plans live in states that Donald Trump won. 27% of farmers are on these plans. So that's why you start seeing these cracks and people in the House and in the Senate, some Republicans saying, why don't we just extend these? And that is a really good question. You look at what happened where the people of this country are. You look at the Virginia and New Jersey races, which were all about costs and affordability statewide. Mississippi flipping 2 state Senate seats. Georgia, 2 Democrats elected statewide in non-federal races for the first time in 2 decades. And look at what's happening today in Tennessee. Are we going to win that race? I don't know. But the fact is it's a plus 22 Trump district, and they're worried about it. Why? Because our candidate, Afton Bain, who actually did a meeting with us on the Affordable Care Act just weeks ago, she is focused on health care. So if they don't get the message with a closer race than expected in Tennessee, if they don't get the message with what's just happened, I just think they are so afraid of Donald Trump that they can't even do what's right for their constituents. So I'll end with this. We're going to get this done. We're going to either get it done by forcing votes in the Senate, or we're going to get it done by getting it on some piece of legislation, or we're going to get it done by marching through into the midterms and winning.
Thank you, Senator Klobuchar.
Democrats have promised the option to force a vote on the Senate floor next week on any health care bill if you're choosing. What bill will that be?
Stay tuned. We had a great discussion, and I will tell you this. We will be focused like a laser on lowering people's costs. Yes.
Schumer, good afternoon. You said that you would trigger this war powers resolution if we got into ground strikes or something in Venezuela. Why not, based on what's going on in the Caribbean, do that now? Are we not at war? Are these not war powers related conflicts in the Caribbean?
It is absolutely, we need more information on the Caribbean. I've asked Hegseth over and over again to release the video so we see what's going on and we see if there are war crimes, if the War Powers Act is being violated. But a land strike on Venezuela would clearly require us to invoke the War Powers Act. Yes, yes.
Based on the offer that Senator Durbin made this morning on the floor to discuss some reforms to ACA, including $0 premiums, and also to discuss income caps. Are you saying that there would not be a scenario where you could have other than a strict...
Look, as long as Republicans are wedded to expanding Hyde, they can't even talk about anything else. Looking for a... No, you, yeah.
Leader Schumer, just to piggyback on that, Leader Green was here right before you and said that Democrats haven't committed to even engaging in any bipartisan discussion on ACA. Are you open to anything like engagement?
We're willing to talk to anybody who's going to lower costs. So far, the Republicans are in total disarray and have no plan. We have a plan. Go ahead, Manu.
There's we see some folks on the left who are critical of your strategy in Senate primaries and not endorsing more progressive candidates and choosing more establishment ones like Janet Mills and Maine.
Yeah, our North Star is to win the Senate. We are moving ahead strongly. We have very strong candidates. We have health care has become a dominant issue. Look at the Republicans. As Amy said, they're sweating out a plus 22 seat. We are on a great path to take back the Senate. And I think we've done a very good job that way.
Mr. Leader?
Yes, you get the last one.
You noted that your offices in New York received several bomb threats recently. We know this week that the House just launched a new member security program where members can hire personal security, make upgrades to their home. Are there similar resources here for senators, and do you believe that's sufficient?
Yes, we are working very closely with the Sergeant at Arms. We're trying to do this in a bipartisan way to give greater protection to senators. Thank you.